You've told yourself this before, haven't you? This time I'll stop wasting time. I'll wake up early. I'll quit the habit for real. But somehow you find yourself back in the same loop, scrolling late at night, skipping the gym, breaking promises to yourself. And worst of all, you know better. So why do we still do it? This isn't just your struggle, it's everyone's battle. We live in a world full of distractions, endless dopamine hits, and systems designed to keep us stuck. But here's the truth no one tells you. You don't need more motivation, you need a better system. In this video, we'll show you how to break bad habits and build good ones, step by step, with insights from atomic habits and timeless wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita. Not theory, a real solution for real people that starts with you. To understand why habits feel so hard to break, let's walk through a simple story, one that might feel a little too familiar. Brindha is ambitious. She wants to make the most of her time. She has goals, a vision for her life, and a quiet pressure she carries every day. She works from home, spends most of her day on screens, and by the time evening comes, she's mentally drained. Every night, she wants to sleep without looking at her phone. But almost without thinking, her hand reaches for it. And before she knows it, she's scrolling. What starts as a small distraction turns into 2 hours, again and again. She wakes up tired, frustrated, promising to do better, only to fall into the same pattern the next night. She was stuck in a habit loop, a cycle that ran on autopilot. James Clear explains this loop as trigger, craving, response, reward. It's not about laziness, it's that your brain runs on patterns. Repeating a familiar action takes less effort than thinking about it every time. For Brindha, her phone was the trigger. The craving, a quick escape from stress. The response, scroll, tap, swipe. The reward, a few moments of relief that came with a cost. But even the Bhagavad Gita talks about this. It says, even a wise person acts against their own will, driven by desire, born from restlessness. Brindha wasn't weak, she was human. And that's why bad habits stick. Not because we're lazy, but because they feel good in the moment, even when they quietly steal our peace. Brindha wasn't proud of the habit, but she was used to it. It had become part of her evening, almost like muscle memory. One night, she picked up her phone almost without realizing it. Her thumb was already hovering over the unlock screen when something inside her paused. She noticed what she was doing, not with guilt, just awareness. And in that quiet moment, she felt tired of this loop, tired of knowing exactly how the night would go. So she didn't force herself to change. She just did one small thing differently. She placed the phone on a table in the hall outside her room and walked in without it. No grand plan, no big challenge, just one small decision. That night, as she lay in bed, it felt different. There were no notifications, no endless scrolling, just stillness. Her mind didn't race, but it didn't rest either. It was quiet, almost too quiet, like something was missing, but also something felt lighter. She turned to one side, then the other, trying to sleep, trying to settle into this new kind of silence. Uncomfortable, but different. The Bhagavad Gita says, the mind is restless, but with repeated practice and detachment, it can be brought under control. Brindha didn't fight the urge. She didn't try to win. She just created a bit of distance and let the habit weaken on its own. That's how change begins. Not with a perfect plan, but by breaking the loop once. Just once. Because every time you pause, every time you choose not to follow the pattern, you take your power back. That pause, the one where her phone wasn't there, it didn't just stop a habit. It created space. And slowly, that space became an invitation. Not to fill it with noise, but to build something quiet, something better. It had been a few nights since Brindha started leaving her phone in the hall. She still felt restless. Sometimes her hands would reach out, then pause midair, remembering there was nothing there. But in that pause, there was peace. And in that peace, something new began. She didn't try to meditate or read a book or do anything impressive. She just sat. And one night, she picked up a pen and opened an old notebook. No plan, no goal. She scribbled. Tired. Didn't touch my phone tonight. Felt strange. Quiet. That was it. But it meant something. And the next night, she did it again. A few honest words. Nothing polished. Over time, that notebook became a new rhythm. A small moment she could count on. A habit that met her where she was. As Sri Krishna says, little by little, through patience and repeated effort, the mind will become still. Brindha wasn't chasing a goal. She was simply returning to herself, one small line at a time. Because real transformation doesn't shout, it whispers, and you hear it when everything else goes quiet. Brindha didn't transform overnight. There were days she slipped, nights when she still reached for the phone, moments when silence felt too loud. But each time she returned to that notebook, even with just one line, she wasn't trying to fix herself. She was learning to meet herself. And that changed everything. She had stopped fighting the habit and started listening to what it was trying to cover up. One small decision at a time, one honest line in a notebook, one night without distraction. That was her path. And slowly, without force, the habit lost its grip. Maybe that's all a habit really is. Not something you have to fight, but something you can watch, understand, and gently outgrow, just like Brindha did. You can too. If this story felt familiar, take it as a gentle reminder. You don't have to change everything today. Just pause once. Break the loop once. Write one honest line. That's where real change begins. That was Brindha's story, but it could just as easily be yours or mine. Because we all have patterns that pull us in, and sometimes the smallest pause is all it takes to start seeing them clearly. So if you're stuck in something right now, just remember this. You don't need to win tonight. You just need to notice and maybe do one thing differently. That's enough. And maybe for you it's not the phone. Maybe it's putting off work until the last moment. Or opening the fridge when you're not really hungry. Maybe it's saying yes when you want to say no. Or picking up your phone the moment things go quiet. It doesn't matter what the habit is. The loop is the same, and the way out starts the same too. Notice, pause, do one thing differently, not to fix everything overnight, but to stop living on autopilot. If this story helped you see something more clearly and you'd like more content like this, quiet, thoughtful, and rooted in wisdom, consider staying connected.